This year's annual Patterson family reunion in Detroit was notably apart from previous gatherings while seated in the hotel's elegantly adorned conference room. Cradling my 3-month-old baby Jamie, I observed my husband Noah practicing his acceptance speech for the Family Legacy Award. The irony of him being awarded for promoting family values was not lost on me, particularly considering what I had uncovered on his phone that morning. I am Shannon, and at 31, I believed I possessed everything: a prosperous marriage, an exquisite child, and a position inside one of Detroit's most esteemed families. Noah was the esteemed heir of Patterson Industries. Succeeding his father as vice president of operations, we were lauded as the ideal pair. And I had accepted this notion until his phone vibrated at breakfast. He had left it on the desk of the hotel room while showering, and I typically would not have glanced at it. But the preview notification piqued my interest. "I already miss you last night" was extraordinary. From an individual identified as Kate P., executive assistant with unsteady hands and Jamie resting in her carrier. I accessed his phone. His password remained our wedding date, an oversight he seemingly neglected to amend. What I discovered caused my stomach to churn: numerous messages, photographs, and a scheduled vacation to the Bahamas, all involving Kate Parker, his new assistant, as I observed him rehearse his discourse on familial loyalty and traditional values. An unsettling tranquility enveloped me. The audiovisual system in the conference room was already configured for his presentation, with a large projection screen in the hotel's advanced video conferencing system. As an IT project manager, I comprehended just how these systems functioned. "Shannon," my mother-in-law Patricia cried out, arriving with her impeccably styled hair and genteel smile, "is everything prepared for Noah's speech? This accolade holds significant value for the family." "Nearly," I responded, readjusting Jamie's blanket. "Only need to verify the technical configuration one final time." Patricia radiated joy. "You are consistently meticulous. We are fortunate to have you in the family." If she were aware of her cherished son's activities with his aide, she would soon find out. I observed that Kate's online status changed to available on Noah's phone. As anticipated, she was likely expecting their customary early video call. I rose, placing Jamie into her grandmother's eager embrace. "Could you please observe her for a moment? I require assistance with the presentation setup for Noah." The conference room was abuzz with activity as extended family members occupied their seats. Noah's younger sister, Nicole, was arranging the flowers on the platform, while his father, Robert, CEO of Patterson Industries, was reviewing his introductory speech. The irony of their collective preparation to commemorate Noah's integrity was not lost on me. I approached the AV control panel, Jamie's gentle coos still perceptible from her position with Patricia. "I am merely verifying the connections," I informed the hotel technician with a smile. Observing him complete the setup, my IT background clarified the subsequent procedures. The system was prepared to automatically display any incoming video calls on the main screen. Noah's phone vibrated once more in my hand. Another communication from Kate. "I eagerly anticipate our morning check-in. Handsome, I possess a surprise for you." Cheerful face. I gazed at my husband, who was now welcoming older relatives with the lovely smile that had captivated me. He was unaware that I had observed their intentions, including their discussions about leveraging his familial connections to establish their own enterprise, and their amusement regarding my preoccupation with the infant, which they believed would prevent me from noticing anything. 5 minutes until we commence," Robert declared, his voice exuding the authority of an individual accustomed to presiding over board meetings. "Shannon, is everything prepared for the presentation?" "Nearly flawless," I responded, maintaining a composed tone. "Only Noah's phone is required to connect for the slideshow." Noah approached, adjusting his tie. "Here you are, dear," he stated, offering me his phone without hesitation. "You consistently excel in technological matters." I hooked his phone to the system, anticipating that Kate would call imminently for their morning meeting. The daily morning meeting occurred at 10 a.m. while I was occupied with pediatrician appointments and client calls. "Everyone, please take your seats," Patricia announced, still cradling Jamie. "We are on the verge of commemorating a distinguished member of the Patterson family." The lights faded marginally, and Noah assumed his position at the podium. Robert commenced his presentation by discussing familial legacy and the significance of ethical character in business. I occupied the front row, adjacent to Patricia and Jamie, observing the small indicator light on the AV panel illuminate green. Kate was punctual. Her inbound video call would connect momentarily. Noah cleared his throat, ready to accept his award. Entirely oblivious to the impending collapse of his meticulously crafted world, Robert asserted that the Patterson name has consistently represented integrity, his voice imbued with pride. "No one embodies our ideals more than my kid." Noah, the expansive screen behind them abruptly illuminated. Kate's visage emerged. Her blonde hair stylishly disheveled. Adorned in apparel evidently unsuitable for the business, the entire room became motionless. "Hello. Handsome," she purred, evidently unaware that she was addressing a room full of people. "I already miss you. The brief meeting in your office this morning was insufficient." Noah's complexion paled. He pivoted, finally perceiving the screen, then turned back to regard me in terror. I maintained eye contact with him while gently bouncing Jamie on my knee. Kate continued, adjusting her camera, stating that she believed they might discuss the plans to separate from her father's company. "I have commenced contacting several clients of Patterson Industries. They exhibit significant interest in our offerings." Patricia's hand swiftly moved to her mouth. Robert's demeanor stiffened upon hearing the name of his company. The room was utterly silent save for Kate's voice and Jamie's soft coos. "Your spouse is evidently preoccupied with the infant to observe anything." Kate chuckled. "Once we have your family's primary investor's support, Kate." Cease. Noah ultimately succeeded in uttering a sound. She halted, finally perceiving the backdrop behind him. Her eyes expanded as she surveyed the conference room, the family members, and me seated composedly in the front row with his daughter. "Oh my God," she murmured, her complexion paling. The display became black as she disconnected. Robert was the inaugural one to disrupt the hush. "Son," he stated, his tone frigid. "My workplace, currently, Shannon." "I am able to elucidate." Noah commenced speaking, but I interrupted him. "I believe Kate elucidated all aspects with considerable clarity," I stated, maintaining a steady tone. "Although I am confident the board will be keen to learn more about your strategies for acquiring firm clients." Patricia was weeping quietly, still grasping Jamie's diaper bag. Family members were whispering around us. Phones were being retrieved, and decades of the Patterson reputation were at stake. "We're disintegrating in real time." I rose to collect Jamie's belongings. "I will instruct my attorney to reach out to you," I informed Noah, who appeared to have aged a decade in the last 5 minutes. "I am confident that you comprehend. I will pursue full custody." As I exited the meeting room, Jamie was firmly in my embrace. I observed Robert speaking to the astonished family members. "I regret this sad scenario. The Legacy Award ceremony has been unequivocally postponed." I refrained from looking back. Occasionally, karma operates independently. It merely requires the appropriate stage. Toadies close the veracity. The subsequent 48 hours unfolded in a flurry of action. I relocated to a suite at an alternate hotel with Jamie, disregarding the incessant barrage of calls and messages from Noah. By Monday morning, the incident had already reverberated through Detroit's business community. I sat in my attorney's office, Jamie slumbering tranquilly in her carrier while Jessica Anderson delineated our plan. "The board of Patterson Industries has convened an emergency meeting," she stated, while sorting through documents. "Several clients have reportedly come forward, claiming that Kate Parker solicited them to transfer their company to a new venture. This implies that Noah was not merely deceiving me," I responded, maintaining a subdued tone to prevent awakening James. "He was engaged in orchestrating corporate espionage." Jessica acquiesced. "Robert Patterson made a call. He wishes to confer with you discreetly prior to the board meeting." I was not astonished. Robert established Patterson Industries from inception, transforming it into one of Detroit's most esteemed enterprises. The controversy transcended familial concerns, posing a threat to the business itself. An hour later, I was seated opposite Robert in his corner office, with Jamie still sleeping comfortably beside me. The metropolitan skyline extended behind him, a vista Noah had once aspired to claim as his own. Shannon. Robert appeared older than I had ever observed him. Initially, I wished to express my apologies. The actions of Noah and that woman are inexcusable. Both to you and to this organization. I acquiesced. Awaiting Robert did not establish an empire via sentimentality. Noah's accounts and access had been suspended. He continued. Kate Parker has been dismissed, and our legal team is planning to take action against both parties. However, we have an additional matter to address. He propelled a document across his desk. The contents included specifics regarding multiple significant client accounts that I had assisted in securing through my IT consulting efforts. Robert stated that these clients are threatening to depart not because of the scandal, but because you were their principal technical liaison. They have confidence you. I collaborated with numerous clients of Patterson Industries, updating their systems while Noah received the accolades. I recognized the irony. What is your proposal? I inquired. Despite already possessing an understanding, Robert responded that he would want to extend an offer for the post of Chief Technology Officer. The board concurs that we require an individual with your competence. Particularly at this juncture, your integrity and the talents are just what this organization requires to progress. I observed Jamie, contemplating her future, and Noah. His shares will be acquired at the minimal value, in accordance with the company's bylaws pertaining to ethical infractions. He will be fortunate if he evades criminal penalties for attempting to misappropriate trade secrets. Robert's demeanor became resolute. The Patterson name signifies something in this city. He overlooked that fact. You did not. Jamie moved in her carrier. And I gently rocked her back to slumber. The post Robert proposed would ensure her future security, however. It encompassed more than that. It represented an opportunity to construct something significant from the remnants of Noah's treachery. I must see my lawyer to analyze the deal. I stated ultimately I desire a position on the board. Robert grinned for the first time since the reunion already incorporated. We are not relinquishing you to another organization. Shannon. In contrast to my son, I discern genuine worth when I encounter it. The news was published in the Detroit Business Journal the subsequent morning. Patterson Industries appoints new chief technology officer amidst familial controversy. The article was tactful yet unequivocal. Noah's endeavor in corporate espionage was unsuccessful, and the corporation was rising more robustly under new leadership. While I was evaluating resumes for my technical team, Nicole, Noah's sister, entered my new office doorway. She was uneasy. Shifting from one foot to the other, I just encountered Noah in the lobby. She stated he is attempting to bypass security. States he requires a discussion with father regarding his stocks. I persisted in examining the resume before me. That is no longer my issue. Security possesses their directives. Nicole approached. Observing Jamie slumbering in her portable crib adjacent to my desk, he appears dreadful. Shannon. Kate seemingly absconded with the most of their funds. The trip to the Bahamas that they organized. She departed without him and depleted their joint account. Karma operates in intriguing manners. I responded, annotating a promising candidate's application. Did you require something particular? Nicole. I have a board meeting in 30 minutes. She descended into the chair opposite me. I am incredulous that he discarded everything. The familial surname. His nuptials. His association with Jamie. A disturbance in the hallway interrupted her. Noah's voice resonated through the ajar door. I possess every right to be present. That is the company of my family. I activated the intercom. Security. Kindly accompany Mr. Patterson from the premises. I resorted to my former sister-in-law. Nicole. You may wish to remind your brother that his restraining order encompasses our workplace. Nicole nodded somberly and departed. I observed Noah being escorted to the parking lot from my window. His previously pristine suit now creased, and his once unshakable confidence diminished. My phone vibrated with a message from Jessica. My attorney Kate Parker was observed in Miami, and local authorities have been informed about the corporate stealing allegations. I silenced the phone as Robert entered with a stack of folders. Are you prepared for the board meeting? We are announcing the establishment of the new cybersecurity division today. I have just completed the evaluation of candidates for the team and have responded while organizing my documents. Noah was present as well. Robert's countenance soured. I observed the board will vote on his official removal as a shareholder this afternoon. His minor plot with Ms. Parker contravened every provision in his contract. As we proceeded to the boardroom, employees acknowledged us with courteous nods. Numerous were my recent recruits. Youthful technology pros enthusiastic to assist in modernizing Patterson Industries. Within a little 3 weeks, we had initiated 2 new digital projects that had already acquired significant clients. Shannon. Robert halted outside the boardroom. I understand that encountering Noah in such a manner must be challenging. If you require time. I repositioned Jamie's carrier on my arm. I must concentrate on expanding this company. The drama between Noah and Kate no longer concerns me. The board members were already in their seats. These were the same individuals who previously dismissed me merely as Noah's wife. They now seek my guidance. Let us commence, I stated, as I took my place at the table. We operate a corporation. The quarterly investors meeting occurred precisely 1 month following the family reunion event. I stood at the stage, presenting our new technological projects to a crowded conference room. The same space where Noah's dishonesty had been revealed. Our cybersecurity section has earned contracts with 3 prominent financial institutions. I elucidated, nodding towards the growth charts behind me. Patterson Industries is poised to emerge as a leader in financial technology protection. A television in the rear of the room displayed a local news channel without sound. I observed several board members observing it during my presentation. Upon turning to change the slides, I understood the reason. Kate Parker's visage appeared on the screen as she was escorted into a Miami courthouse in handcuffs. I proceeded with my presentation seamlessly. Our second quarter forecasts indicate a 40% rise in sales within the IT industry. Subsequently, at my office, Robert provided me with the details. She attempted to sell confidential information to one of our competitors. Regrettably for her, they possess greater integrity than she does. They reached out to us promptly. I inquired of Noah while arranging reports on my desk, as Jamie occupied herself with her toys in her designated section of the office. He continues to assert his ignorance regarding her efforts to appropriate company secrets. Nonetheless, The evidence indicates otherwise. Robert presented me with a folder the FBI discovered. These in Kate's apartment contained within were comprehensive notes of Patterson Industries' clientele. Including information accessible solely to Noah. Emails were also there detailing their strategy to establish a rival company with illicitly obtained data and connections. The board's attorneys predict he faces substantial legal repercussions. Robert continued. Both civil and criminal. I closed the folder. That is no longer my issue. Have you reviewed the proposal from the technology startup Singapore? Prior to Robert's response, my assistant intervened. Mrs. Patterson. She restrained herself. Ms. Kennedy, I apologize. The developers are prepared for the upcoming system test. Thank you. Evelyn. I rose to collect my tablet. Robert, we can deliberate on Singapore evening meal. Patricia is still attending to observe Jamie. Correct. He nodded, beaming at his granddaughter. She is the sole positive outcome that emerged from this situation. While proceeding to the development floor, I traversed the wall adorned with business photographs. The previous photograph of Noah and myself at last year's charity event has been substituted with a new one. Visual representation. I am addressing a technology conference to announce Patterson Industries' digital transformation effort. My phone vibrated with a news notification. A former executive assistant has admitted guilt in a case of business espionage, faces a maximum of 15 years. Below, there was another message. This communication is from Noah's attorney, once more endeavoring to negotiate the terms for his shares. I archived both notices without further reading. The development team was in anticipation, and we had current tasks to do. The company's future would not materialize autonomously. All right, team, I announced, entering the conference room populated with enthusiastic young developers. Demonstrate your capabilities. 1 year subsequent to the family gathering incident, I found myself in my office overlooking downtown Detroit, with Jamie engaged in play with blocks at her small desk adjacent to mine. At the age of 2, she was already demonstrating her mother's technical proficiency by arranging her blocks in patterns and sequences. The Detroit Business Journal of the morning rested on my desk. Patterson Industries announces unprecedented growth under new leadership. The piece emphasized our successful expansion into cybersecurity and international markets, with our Singapore branch surpassing all predictions. My phone vibrated with a message from Jessica, my attorney. Noah's final appeal has been denied. Custody is retained entirely by you. His incarceration commences next month. I laid the phone down, redirecting my focus to more significant concerns. Our development team was finalizing a groundbreaking banking security system, and I had a board meeting to prepare for. Ms. Kennedy, my assistant, called from the doorway. The new technology team from Singapore is prepared for their video conference. Thank you. Evelyn. I smiled at the irony. This was the identical conference system that had unveiled Noah and Kate's deceit a year prior. It was now being utilized to facilitate the company's global expansion. Jamie glanced up from her blocks, gesturing at the recognizable faces coming on the TV. These individuals are the ones of significance at present. My team, my daughter, our future. Occasionally, the most effective reprisal does not include achieving parity. It pertains to progressing and constructing something superior than what was lost on the day Noah entered prison. I delivered the keynote address at Detroit's Women in Technology Summit. At the platform, I surveyed the assembly of aspiring female tech leaders, many of whom were recent recruits at Patterson Industries. Success is not founded on shortcuts or schemes, I informed them, reflecting on how dissimilarly events had unfolded from Noah and Kate's original plans. It is founded on innovation, integrity, and the audacity to advance when others attempt to impede your progress. Following the lecture, while responding to inquiries from young ladies keen to emulate my path, I received a concluding update from Robert. Kate was sentenced to 12 years for business espionage and fraud. The funds she had embezzled were long expended on extravagant acquisitions in several tropical locales prior to her apprehension. That evening, upon retrieving Jamie from Patricia's residence, my former mother-in-law embraced me fervently. She remarked that you have contributed more to the Patterson brand than Noah ever did. Observing Jamie demonstrate her new coding game on her iPad, you transformed our disgrace into triumph. As I drove home to our new residence in the historic neighborhood, I reflected on the past year. Patterson Industries has doubled in value under my leadership. Our cybersecurity branch was transforming the industry. Jamie was maturing in an environment that prioritized honesty over superficiality. Occasionally, life's most significant betrayals result in its greatest possibilities. One must possess the fortitude to traverse the flames and the sagacity to construct something superior from the remnants.